Holy crap, Jack. Go to you, bro. Long time no talk, huh? I got a lot of stuff. This is the first time in a long time I'm wait just maybe 60 seconds, and then it's off to the races. What's up, darling girl, Queen Survivor, White Dragon, brother from another mother. I gotta crack open this juice, man. Don't drink your juice in the what's something about South Central? Yeah, that movie. Okay, hold up. A lot of stuff here. All right, we about done with all that there. Okay, let's kill the music. Kill the music. Somebody just get the DJ down. DJ down. Down for the count. Guys, man, yo. Okay. Blah blah blah. Exhausted. Don't care. I have a lot to cover. I've just after last night, I want to thank all of you that stuck around with me for that entire hour. And it was a beautiful moment because you all taught me. You guys sent me, you submitted the information, the locations, the websites. You guys educated me. This is what it's always been about. It is an ongoing conversation that we all have with one another. And I'm very proud to present my tabs. That's almost infinite. So, not that I can go on for an infinite amount of time, but there's no shortage. Jesus, Jack, I really haven't seen you in a long, long time, man. BSR's here? Dude, what? All right, I will. I'm a little starstruck, okay? Let's dive right in, shall we? I didn't get my juice, though. Hold on. Juice in South Central, the hood, something or the other. Here we go. It's better than booze today. I worked 12 hours. That's normal. Okay. Check this out. Oh, and I'm gonna actively. This is gonna be a challenge. I'm gonna actively not try to say angry conservative. What's up, y'all? Okay, and mutated illustrations. I cannot forget you. So this might be. I know it's gonna be old news. By the way, do bear in mind. See fouls. Welcome. The Jack has reemerged. All right. So, sticking to nope. Every time I say I want somebody to like kind of chronicle it. I don't like that word. Hit a button or something. I'm going to like put money in a cookie jar, or I don't know, do something masochistic. Now, this is gonna be old news. Oh, and my eyes won't be on the chat for a lot of the topics being covered. You all knew this? You all were telling me this last night, and I told y'all I would be rewatch. Did I just do a or an Damn it! It happened again. Okay, we're gonna replace that with something like schnozberries. I went ahead and read the comments, every single one, and I'm very proud of all of you for being a true community and sharing some real facts. I didn't know. All of you knew. I didn't know because I just started to look into the fires and all this. Now, if you're seeing what I see, you guys were mentioning the Maui police chief is also the same police chief. There are going to be people that are going to point out what's the relevance, it's a coincidence, which is why I chose to put that as my thumbnail. How often do coincidences have to happen in the world we live in before they become something else? I think that is a logical question, maybe even a controversial question this day and age. I don't know. Let's let YouTube decide. By the way, there's that little. Oh, I just did that thing. I was gonna do the thing, but you know what? Screw monetization for the moment. Let me dig right in. So, the police chief of Maui with the catastrophe was also the police chief of the Las Vegas event, for lack of a better term. I'm trying to play nice, YouTube. I really am. So I want to look at. I don't see anything that I trust, which is typical, right? Ultra typical. So I'm going to kind of eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and I would like something connection between. Okay, I'm not going for. All right, let me give an example. Not that I feel like I have to explain myself, but to at least articulate why I'm choosing this particular link. You guys remember on Men in Black, the first one, way back when? I thought it was a hilarious scene. Amazing how now I think of it, and I've thought about it throughout the years. When Agent, what is it? The white dude and Will Smith. The white dude went directly for the tabloids to look for news, right? And Will Smith's character is like, "What are you doing, man? That's all crap. What? Just come on." And he picks up like some mainstream newspaper crap. And Agent, whatever his name is, Tommy Lee Jones, he's like, "No, man, this is, you can't trust that stuff. That's all nonsense, man. This is where all the good stuff is." And the article he's holding is like baby born with 3 heads or something, alien sightings. Wow, what a blast from the past. That was supposed to be a joke said in jest. I cannot count how many coincidences we've had from Hollywood. Every film, like, I'm definitely heading into a conspiracy. I'm over even explaining that I'm heading into conspiracy territory. Be prepared. This is what it's going to be tonight. How many times have we seen films after all the documentaries that we saw after 9/11 that pointed out all these little subtle hints in films from way back when that just happen to have something strange, or 9/11 it equal to whatever the case? Then again, my brain goes, well, if you're looking for something, are you going to find it? Lo and behold, though, there are still things out there, and I don't understand them. So, with that being said, I'm going for the title that was done 4 days ago. Connection between. I don't expect to find one, but we do have something that is somewhat of a connection because he's been a part of both tragedies. So let's see. Never heard of this website. 100%effedup.com. Sounds about right. I feel like I'm Agent Smith right now going through to the tabloids and throwing away Newsweek. The Maui fires have devastated. We all know this already. Okay. So, more video. I think we've seen enough death and destruction. I don't know. I want to get to the nitty gritty because I have so many videos and everything. I have so much and I'm excited. Look at that. Oh, I like that this article goes ahead and mentions the DEW. I had to learn that from y'all last night, and I can't wrap my head around the entirety of it. I would love to get somebody that is way more finessed with the technology that is beyond my comprehension to speak with me. Oh, those are the leading. Okay, what's the leading conspiracy theories? However, how many people are skeptical of the mainstream narrative? We should be, always, as Base Girl says, question everything. Always, just question everything. There's no reason this day and age to just, aside from taking things with a grain of salt, accepting the official report and just hearing anything from our government and saying that sounds about right. That's just, I may as well just shove my head straight up my ass. All right, and fear something more nefarious is at play. Arson, direct energy weapon, those are the leading conspiracies at the moment. But we can call them conspiracy theories. Can we call them conspiracies at this point? So many theories have turned out to be true that we should call them conspiracy facts. I like the way. Okay, what is this? Title, this is not normal.
What the fuck, dude? Be the horn.
Wow.
What the fuck?
That's what it's like driving through that.
What the fuck?
Tires, like, this is not a forest fire. This is a city neighborhood fire. This is what they were driving through. Like, I understand a forest fire.
Come on.
It is beyond my comprehension how a city fire this day and age, this modern day and age, this is something that the Chicago fire, 1920s, hell, I'll go as far as the 1980s, man. But now,
come on, baby. What the fuck?
Gee.
What is this?
Yeah. I've never seen this footage, so
let's go.
Oh my God, I'm right next to them. Can't even imagine the heat.
Motherfucker. Quick. Yeah, we're good.
YouTube, they get to curse, okay? Okay.
Oh my God, dude.
These are neighborhoods.
Okay, it's okay.
Schools.
We're almost to the end of the meal. We're almost to the...
A customer today told me, I'm just going to say it because I've heard it and I trust you guys more than any mainstream or news outlet, but somebody told me Obama has a mansion over there that was like completely untouched. conveniently or something to that effect. Maybe it's something I'll dig into, but anyway, I just wanted to put that out there and see a comment later on.
To the smokestack. Oh, we made it. We're gonna line on the road now.
What? That's trying to put myself in like some sort of emotional mental state that I could comprehend what that must be like. I'm sure a lot of you have spent a lot of time looking at footage like that. Remember, I'm still kind of fresh to it. Typical arson, just burn Maui down in a couple of hours, totally normal. And you see this, 30 seconds. Billowing smoke, like this is what you see in a forest fire, only replace the forest with a civilization. And yes, I've thought a lot about this Agenda 2030. See, I've been learning things. Agenda 2030, which is the whole goal, or literally agenda, to make Maui or Hawaii the first, most modernized, futuristic state or country in the United States. Raised to the ground. It's the same guy here with a little top view. I'm going to check this out again. The claim that, hold on, what do we have? Readers added context. I'm curious about this. In 2018, that date has come up a lot because that's when the WEF, or if that's their acronym, put out the report about the mission statement. The claim that laser beams have been used to ignite wildfires has circulated online since at least 2018. Well, I mean, that's all right. Also, seeing the comments from last night's live, I did see that many of you were telling me that just yesterday, and this was Stephen A. If he's here, I salute you, sir. Stephen A. was shouting, the government or SpaceX just literally announced that they have laser weaponry. They have laser weaponry. I didn't catch that comment during the live stream. What could be motives behind a diabolical plot to destroy Maui? I think we know them. Let me see what they offer. I'm going to go past that. What do we got? So, okay. Random TikTokers. Truth bombs will surface. Okay. How long? Let's see.
So a lot of people have been asking me to comment on the Hawaii fires since we've had fires nonstop here in Alberta pretty much all summer. The worst part is this has been the coldest, wettest summer ever. I think this is probably the third or fourth day that we've actually had sunshine without any smoke or rain or storms that have come through. I mean, it's been a wet summer and somehow the forest fires are still raging. So what I think is going on in Hawaii is exactly what's going on in Alberta. They're land grabs. Hawaii is very small. It has a small amount.
Oh, and one of these tabs, if you can see them up here, ladies and gentlemen, I took Shelby's advice. I have the National Fire News. Shelby, last night in our live, was listing all of the states in our country that right now are having massive fires, and I saw a lot of you having a very logical discussion as to why isn't there more news or noise about this in the media. I never turn on the TV for the news, period. So if this is being underreported, that will add to my distrust and skepticism. The only time I hear the news is after work when I walk in, and before work when I walk out. And it's always the same crap. Trump being indicted, this, that, and the other, the bullshit.
Of land available, especially for millionaires and billionaires that have houses in the...
Didn't Oprah, I learned from one of you, again, thank you, Oprah just acquired, which would imply not purchased. She acquired. Was she given land? No. I'm not going to speak if I don't know. But apparently what I've been told is that she owns new land. Where? I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
These areas that want to keep building. So the easiest way, instead of offering people money for their homes, is to just burn the entire place down and pretty much burn people out of their area.
YouTube, educational purposes, everything is for entertainment here. And yeah. We're just trying to figure out the world.
Yeah, they did that in Alberta here to try and get people into 15-minute cities, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing in Maui. Now, why am I saying that? Well, I did a video on the Epstein flight log list, exposed everybody that was on the flights.
And excuse me? Where is that? Can you... Well, I'm going to follow this chick. Okay, that's a very bold claim because it hasn't seemed to have circulated much. I did see a picture that was circulating, but I haven't been able to get a confirmation. But interesting.
And I also put up classified documents that were from the Ghislaine Maxwell court case, and then I even put up her flight logs. So not just Epstein's flight logs, but her flight logs that were released in court as well. People went absolutely wild. The video went super viral. Some people were super mad at me because their movie stars were on Epstein Island. But if you look at the correlation of the people who are on Epstein Island and the people who own houses on Maui, you're going to see a huge correlation. And these people do not stop at anything, and they want more land.
Buffering. The greedy will always outgreed
building their entire houses bigger. Now, the only reason I know this is I went to Hawaii, I think 13 years ago, and talking to the locals, they were all complaining about the same thing. Overdevelopment, developers coming in and trying to take homes of regular people for way under the asking price, and then building like multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar hotels, homes on that land. So what people started doing is they won't.
I wish she would. I mean, everything is anecdotal, right? You got to take people at their word and just do what you will, you know? I do wish that she would provide, I don't know, something, documentation of the trip, something or another. But still, I mean, this is all... I've reached the point where things are just beyond possible. They're highly probable, as in, you know, damn well could be. This is one of a few options.
Take any offer from any developer. So what's another way of getting people off of their land is to burn it, scorch it, or make it literally non-livable on. And I think that's what's happening in Hawaii. Whether it was done on purpose with DWs or, you know, other forms of silent weapons, or if it was done by one of these NPC crazy people who believe in global warming. Yet they don't really understand that the billionaires and the millionaires are still taking private jets. They have cruise ship size private yachts. They're not stopping eating meat. They're not stopping flying around the world.
Understood. I do want to point out, you know, just we do know for a fact that the ocean is at a record high that we've never had in our planet. So that's all I'm going to say regarding NPC. People that are concerned about global warming are not the same as those that are trying to push it down your throat and make you change your entire lifestyle while being hypocrites. So I hope there's some sort of an understanding of a difference here.
So, I mean, you know, there's a bunch of people out there that will believe the agenda and then try and push it. But I think this is a lot deeper, kind of like in Alberta. And I truly feel for the people in Hawaii. Stay strong.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Ever so briefly, you better get my attention quick.
I've been in the industry of people losing their homes due to fire, flood, monster, emergency services. But I need you guys to hear me out. You don't see what's going on. I feel something is bigger. I've been on Maui the last 9 years, and I know the geographical location and how everything works. There was no fucking way that a hurricane missed Big Island, went to Maui, and didn't flood them, didn't give them, you know, crazy.
With all that warm water, you know, this is with this fella saying that he was on Maui for the last 9 years gives it a little bit more credence than the last chick there.
You know, other things, but it caused fires. It caused fires in not only on Maui, but it caused fires in the most precious parts of real estate in Maui. Lahaina Front Street is worth billions. The Hawaiians that have been holding out and the Kanaka have been holding out for years, not wanting to sell their property in Lahaina due to these big $1 million companies. It is not a coincidence. I don't believe.
There's that word.
In the most precious parts of Maui, Kula, Lahaina, and Kihei
Lahaina Kide.
that the locals that are standing strong and do not want to give up Oprah Winfrey's fucking view up in Kula.
Whoa. Okay, I just mentioned that. You gotta be kidding me, man. There is a correlation. Is it, the land I was speaking of, which I know nothing about, I just heard that there was some land. Don't tell me, please don't. Like, it'll just be too much for me to really wrap my head around. Don't tell me that Oprah just so happens to have land. Like, what? I have to look into this. Okay, I still have things to go through. Let me keep hearing this fella out here
That the Hawaiians are holding out on, that the fire was going to. The Hawaiians and the Kanaka that was holding right there on Front Street.
Okay, all right. Exit TikTok. Let's see. What do you think? Coincidence? I don't believe that word anymore. Everything about the mainstream narrative is off, so I wouldn't rule out anything. Another coincidence has revealed itself since the devastating fires started on the island. Reports indicate that Maui, here it is. Here is what I find to be just, like, what are the chances? What are the chances? I don't know what I don't know, but I know what comes out looking a certain kind of way, for lack of a better term. Okay, it just so happens to be the police chief that was there during the Las Vegas 2017 mass, we're not children here, mass shooting. YouTube, you heard that? Okay, yeah, so John Peltier, same freaking guy. Now let me see. This is what I really came here for. Maui Chief of Police John Peltier has a top clearance with the FBI, was involved in ethics complaints and investigated in Maui, and worked in Las Vegas, leading the command during the active shooter in 2017 that left 58 people gone. I mean, what are the chances that the same police chief of two huge, insurmountable tragedies would be, like, just, the same guy from one to the other? That's wild to me. What do we have here? Side note, Maui police, John Peltier, after serving for 22 years in Las Vegas, after 22 years, and he finds himself in Maui during this unprecedented moment. I'm tired of hearing that word. Everything this day and age is unprecedented. Okay, let's see what I learn. Let's see what we learn right now from this obscure video.
Instead of the 89 souls lost, only 2 have been identified, or that's of the recent.
So of the 89, so realize this: we when we find these,
Angel,
our family and our friends,
John Burner,
the remains we're finding is through a fire that melted metal.
That's not normal.
We have to do rapid DNA to identify them. Every one of these 89 are John and Jane Does.
89.
And so when you are asking us, and we know we've got to get, and I love the way our House representative, how she said it. She was so eloquent. We know we've got to go quick, but we got to do it right. So when we pick up the remains and they fall apart, and so when you have 200 people running through the scene yesterday, and some of you, that's what you're stepping on.
Jesus.
I don't know how much more you want me to describe it. That's what you're stepping on. Give us a little bit of time to contain that. Please. Because we've got to go make 89 notifications.
I do give you my word. Damn it, I said anyway. Each and every one of you here, I give each of you my word. I'm going to do as much research and background information within my power, with enough due diligence and time, to learn this man right here, John Peltier. I'm looking at him. I mean, it's easy to look at somebody under the circumstance and feel maybe something's off, but I don't know. I got a vibe. I want to learn more about this fella who has found himself in the limelight for all the wrong reasons twice now.
And coming from a place that had to make 58, I understand the pain this is going to take. And we're not done with 89. So just understand what this thing is, because none of us really know the size of it yet. Everybody wants a number. You want it fast or you want it right? We're going to do it right.
FBI connected, huh? That's that's the allegation. That's the first thing I'm going to look into. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm so glad that I happened to pick this is affiliated with Gateway Pundit. So that, okay. By the way, mentioning, as you all were talking about in the live last night, this is as recent. Oh, this is today. Okay. So check it out. We're all going to learn together. After seeing Shelby's comments about all these other fires in other states in our country, I was like, okay, let's get a view of this. 14 new large fires were reported yesterday. Last night, this was being talked about. 4 in California, 3 in Montana, 2 in Texas, and Alaska. In Alaska? Colorado and Washington each had 1. Currently, 92 wildfires have burned more than 500,000 acres in 14 states. Nearly 11,900. By the way, this is the National Interagency Fire Center. This is like a .org. This is .org.gov. How about that? Okay? So let's put out any questions, and let's assume we're getting raw data here. 11,900 wildland firefighters and support personnel are assigned to incidents across the United States. More than 35,700 wildfires have burned 1,699,381 acres since January 1st, 2023. This is below the 10-year average of 38,042 wildfires and 4,523,391 acres burned. Hot and dry conditions will continue in many states over the weekend. Is this all over the news? I would assume this is everywhere. Everywhere. Why is it every time I walk around an actual mainstream media outlet, it's, Trump, this and that? Still, how can it's insulting and it's deplorable that any news source, outlet, or reporter agency will still be so fixated on Orange Man bad and trying to ensure that his constitutional rights are completely violated. By the way, I love how they violated. I did look up more of the January 6th detainees because that last story last night left me with a bitter taste. And I looked more into it, and it was not illuminating by any means. So please do your okay. A Type 1 incident management team is mobilizing to Hawaii to assist with wildfire suppression efforts. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, continues to work closely with state and local agencies on Maui. For more information, please visit the following websites. Okay. I heard on the radio, because I'm old school and I listen to the actual radio today, Florida here, apparently Hawaiians love Spam. So there's a massive collection of Spam for Hawaiians. How about that? Okay. Okay, let me see how they describe the weather. I'm looking for certain terminology to see if there's any like alarmism or if they're just going by data here. Slight cooling is expected over the Pacific Northwest, Northern Rockies, and much of the Great Basin. However, it will remain warm and dry, and winds will also increase through the Cascade Gaps and Northern Rockies. Please, by the way, ignore our DEW laser beams. Oh, sorry. No, that was typo. Minimum relative humidity will fall to 10% to 25% over a wide area. Poor recoveries will continue for many mid-slope and higher locations, and temperatures will still reach 90 to 100 Fahrenheit in many of those areas. Another round of mixed wet and dry thunderstorms is expected over Northern California, where it will remain dry and a little breezier, while a mainly dry day is expected in Southern California. See, now, like, I'm learning all these other locations where apparently there's alarming fires occurring that I have to look into. So consider it done. New fires identified with an asterisk. Look at this. States currently reporting large fires. What is this number indicative of? New fires are okay, hold on. Number of active large fires, 92. Total does not include individual fires with complexes. What is this? 21 in Alaska, 13 Montana, 12 Idaho, 9 New Mexico, 8 California, 7 Arizona, 5 Colorado, 5 Oregon, Washington 4, Texas 3, 2 Hawaii, Louisiana 1, Utah 1, Florida, what? Excuse me. Fires contained 6. Acres from active fires, 500,000. More than 500,000. Okay, just knocking them down. This is, I found this, again, YouTube let me make it very clear, educational, entertainment, fair use. I found this because I was looking into this Agenda 2030 that I just am still really not that familiar with. And, well, yeah, I won't deny the headline stated here, it got my attention. So I'm going to give it a go. It's brief. Let's see what.
Slowly go mound by mound.
Hold on, that is pretty low. Let's rectify that. Simple. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. Okay, let's see if we get feedback.
On the whole property. We talked to the public information officer from the Houston Fire Department before they cleared this scene.
Welcome, one and all. By the way, please feel free, if you find me worthy, please smash that like button. It'll go a long way. YouTube is not a friendly algorithm. Share if you feel so kind to do so. Otherwise, welcome.
He said the cause of the fire is still unknown, but there's no doubt the dry and windy conditions were a factor in this fire getting as large as it did.
This is
Our
Texas.
main concern right now is air quality. The Houston Health Department's on location monitoring the air quality. Right now, there's no concerns to shelter in place.
That being said, they say if you live in this area and have respiratory issues, it's a good idea to stay indoors as much as possible. Again, although people will keep seeing smoke for the next several days, we're told the fire is contained to these mountains of mulch behind me. Firefighters were even...
Look at all that mulch in the background. Stay inside. You can visibly see smoke. Okay, I don't know what good advice is. I'm not that familiar with actually dealing with such a anomaly of a case regarding widespread fires, especially when an origin has not been really described, with the exception of a convoluted explanation of different weather factors. And what is it true though? Like, really, sincerely, if somebody knows, was there an official announcement by a government agency or by SpaceX that they officially have laser weapons? Like, I know we have them. We covered that at great length last night. But was there some announcement that I missed?
Been able to keep it from spreading to a warehouse that's on the property.
Extreme heat and dry conditions prompted the city of Katy to take drastic steps. It implemented its most severe drought contingency plan on Monday. Maria Aguilera broke down the new water restrictions.
Katy residents are now required to conserve water. The city has entered what it calls Stage 3 drought conditions. Signs like this alerting folks in the community. The city of Katy says it moved to Stage 3 as the total daily water demand has met or exceeded 85% of the total pumpage for 3 days straight. Residents now restricted to watering their lawns just 2 days a week during specific times from midnight to 8 a.m. and from 8 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. For homes with an address ending in even numbers, those days are Sunday and Thursday. For odd numbers, Saturday and Wednesday. Meanwhile, on Tuesday and Friday, HOAs and commercial properties can water. No one is allowed to run irrigation on Mondays. The heat, drought conditions, and previous water conservation across the city has already left some homeowners with parched grass.
I keep looking at the clouds. They don't fill up, I can tell.
Eli Banda says she's never seen conditions quite this bad. She hopes her neighbors will abide by the restrictions.
We cannot do without water. End of story. The grass will come back. The flowers will come back. But people need water too.
Anyone who violates the restrictions gets a warning first, then a fine, and if they don't comply, they could get their water shut off.
Jesus.
The city isn't running water patrols, but it is asking residents to report anyone breaking the rules. We have more information about the restrictions and how to make those reports in this article on khou.com.
Okay, I've always explained to people that are not familiar with me as an individual or what I do on this channel. For one, I am usually never, it is my practice to not be the end is nigh guy, the alarmist, the guy that's making everything embellished or extra sensational. That is not, oh, it's storming outside again. I hope the internet lasts. Yeah, I said it again. All right, get over it. Learning everything that I have been learning within just the past 48 hours. Taking every moment that I am able to do more research and to learn. I'm getting freaked out. I'm getting freaked out. And it's human to admit that. It's, I'm not, just one big concern I have, which is selfish because, it's already going all to hell everywhere else around our country, apparently more than I ever imagined. I am terrified of the hurricane season when it comes around in Florida, given all of everything that's been happening and the record-breaking heat of our oceans right now. And just so many things are happening. Okay, I got some pretty wild stuff here. Okay, what do I choose first? No, that's out of place. You guys ready for a pretty hard segue? I'm just going to give a little warning. Oh, and I did do real quick. Well, I did quite a few things. I'm going to jump onto this video. Maybe, perhaps, it is for the best I didn't choose to monetize. We're going to get into a little deep side of a subject I usually never really touch. But through another channel, I learned about this. And we're going to learn, we're going to watch this and apparently get awestruck at the same time together. So with all of everything, all the chaos in the backdrop, bear that in mind, but prepare for another, for lack of a better word, mind fuck. So here we go. I don't know what to expect, but I've been told it's going to twist your cat back, all right? Let's see.
Since 1965, there's only been 175 unsolved cases.
Fair use, YouTube. Again, fair use. Not even monetized.
Okay. That's just the bodies. But that's like deaths and murders. Well, I would imagine that would be a good place to drop off.
That's kind of what I was going to say, is it's a very good place to go hide stuff. I've found vehicles that were used in crimes dumped out there. I've found dogs from dog fights that were dumped out there. I've found animals that have just been dumped. I've found very intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifice.
I'm gonna replay that. This guy found what he's describing on accident, by the way, and this story came out of nowhere. This is a Python cowboy, like that's his thing, right? So he stumbles upon everything he's describing, and for the first time, for me at least, we're about to go down this rabbit hole together.
Intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifices out there.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was, which I found different stuff before. You know, I'll find maybe where someone was doing some voodoo, some Santeria, sacrificed a chicken, whatever. All that's like kind of normal out there. That's not that crazy. But what I found this night was very crazy. Yeah, the police came and investigated it. It made the news, and that's the facility I was hunting. It's Aerojet. It's actually an abandoned space rocket facility from the Cold War, where they were developing and testing space rockets.
And what were you hunting there?
Pythons. I was out there, hunting these snakes, and this facility is you need special access. I was given special access by the state of Florida to remove pythons from out there.
Florida.
And nobody can just go back out there, but people do go out there, as you can see from the graffiti and different stuff.
If it's required that you have special access, how are all these people getting there and accomplishing all these whatever crazy, bad juju stuff? Does that imply that they're either a full-on criminal element, B, that they have special access, or it just doesn't matter to them?
Like that, usually to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. There's a lot of crimes committed out there. There've been murders out there, gang initiations, all kind of stuff.
So they have a pentagram that's...
So yeah, it's a whole thing. So we go out there. The first thing I came across was a big rock pile with a upside down wooden cross on top and a bunch of red spray painted upside down crosses all over. And you could tell the cross, I think, was burnt a little bit. And it wasn't, crazy, super crazy. It was like, oh, this is new. This wasn't out here a few days ago.
Baby doll?
And then I found this little doll
with crosses.
And as I kind of investigated that doll more, a little red scarlet snake actually came up and wrapped around her neck. And I picked up this. There it is. I picked up the scarlet snake, and which, it was kind of weird that there's a live snake, a red snake on this doll. And I've caught a lot of snakes in my life. And that is the only one that was bleeding out of its anus.
What?
There was blood coming out of its beehole.
What is that?
Which, I don't know why, who knows what. It was a little weird to me. And then the night just kind of gets weirder from there. You see the red lettering in the other clip. It was a big Latin saying, like 100-foot long, pretty much, on the road. I drove over it. We later translated it to turn around, run, hide. He is watching you.
Whoa.
Go further into the complex, and there's
being Colombian, I was raised and taught to fear and respect Santeria. I had a lot of friends, Hispanic friends, that it's something that's just taboo. You don't talk about. So this kind of gives me a little chills. I won't deny. And I find my heart racing a little bit. Okay, let's keep just climbing downward.
There's these big abandoned buildings. I go into the building, still just python hunting. Like, who knows what these kids are doing out here. I thought it was strange, the Latin, your average kid just messing around, don't know Latin sayings like that. And then I come to this big room where there's the big pentagram. In the middle of the pentagram, there is a three-legged plastic chair with a blood stain in the bottom of it where you could tell something was killed, sacrificed, whatever. On each wall, there's 3 walls. On each wall, there's upside-down crosses, Latin sayings, and all kinds of stuff. As I'm kind of walking into the room, which, I don't want to sound like a psycho or anything, but
preach, man.
That doll from earlier grabbed my leg.
Shut up.
I don't know if I kicked it. I didn't.
Okay, all right. I am the number one skeptic when it comes to the supernatural. I can only recall one solid event of my life that I can't explain personally. I've told the tale many times. I trust this man's word far more than any other mainstream outlet or politician or 3-letter agency. I don't know. I'm taking this man for his word here with more than a grain of salt. But that's a wild one.
See it or what? But that doll from the rock pile somewhere else, I don't know if it was another doll or what. I never seen that other doll. I kick it. It seemed like it grabbed me.
Help me fight the algorithm of YouTube. Please click like if you have not. Share if you would find it in your heart to do so. I am on an everyday battle with fighting YouTube. They just reinstated a video of mine 2 nights ago. That was a victory for us. I'm not going to interrupt this video again.
It's that same doll from earlier. Same thing with the cross on its forehead, the one eye cocked over, the other eye messed up. And so, it's very, very weird to me. Kind of like scared me.
So
right next.
It wasn't there and then it was there? So
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice
you didn't carry it over there.
No, I didn't touch it.
So did anybody else? Was anybody else with you?
I had 2 guys with me that didn't even want to get out of the truck when they seen the first thing. They stayed in the truck.
So the same doll that you saw on the rock pile somehow made its way to where you were?
Yep. I don't know if it's a duplicate doll or what, but it's same.
Was there more than one of those dolls?
Only doll I seen. Only doll I
don't
seen.
know what
I'm
to make of this.
not big on the whole supernatural thing. So I'm real doubtful of it in the first place. But to me, it was the same doll from earlier. I did not see it until it hit my foot. Right next to that doll, there is a saying on the ground that says, "The omen will follow," which to me was like the creepiest thing of the whole thing. Was like, that if you interact with any of this spirit's going to follow you. Which I'm Christian. I believe in God, and I wasn't worried. I know the good Lord has my back. But very strange, right? Very strange. As we go through, there's all kind of different stuff. In one of the rooms,
Sorry, but for what it's worth, I'm glad a man of faith was the one that discovered this location. Just putting that out there.
There's a sleeping bag with something inside of it. I don't think it was a body, anything like that. Police went out there, investigated it. I didn't investigate.
Speak free, Dagburn Drywall. Speak free, man.
Investigate further past that. Something was inside the sleeping bag, and on the walls there was looked like red spray paint, and it said she was only 9. We gave her to the devil, like basically talking about sacrificing a child. And then you have this little girl's gown that's nailed to the wall with like a dark red stain on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And what was the...
And this place requires people to have special permission / access, right? So for all intents and purposes, there should be some capability to track or learn who the individuals are.
In the investigation, did you follow up and find out what they found out?
I never heard anything from it. I'm assuming they never found much from it because I never heard anything from it.
Did they know it was human blood that was in the chair?
I don't know.
Or on the...
I don't know. I would like to think it's red spray paint, but I don't know. I don't know. For the sake of the story, who knows what it was?
Yeah.
So we continue on with our hunt. We end up starting to get out of there. The guys are like, dude, we want to go. We don't like this shit. I'm like, all right, let's pack it up. Let's go. So we start making our way out, and I see flashlights.
Shut up.
I mean, there's one road in, one road out. There's a gate at the end of it. You can't drive a vehicle in. And I mean, we're miles out here. You have to drive miles to then walk miles, right? So I see this flashlight bouncing on the side of the road as I'm driving out. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? No, I've never seen anyone out here in my life, ever. Getting closer to him. I have my pistol in my truck. I put my pistol on my lap, just in case. As I'm getting closer, about to kind of pass the guy's like, Mike. It's my name. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm definitely shooting this guy. Like, what the fuck, And he's like, I love your Instagram.
Oh my God.
I was like,
okay. Wow. That's I'm glad that I learn about things I actually want to learn about from this community. This is the only thing I think YouTube has going for it, is people being able to share things like this, just in general. And one thing that I want to say it publicly, how incredibly convenient that right now the government, aside from Trump man bad, get him off the ballot, is aliens, aliens, aliens. Meanwhile, the world is on fire. The world is on fire. I closed down the tab, but there are currently, how many? 92 active fires in our country, and a couple in Alaska, and I don't hear a peep about that. Just priorities are either backwards, or this is all by some kind of design. Like, this is the strategy, same as it ever was. I wanted to play something that I find very relevant because of the same bullshit with, Trump's the end all be all, and that's all we're ever going to talk about. Meanwhile, everything else is going to hell in a handbasket. Now, I know the aliens thing is old news. My search was specific. I wanted to know because I had been told that a government official said I'm going to quote, "We have an actual extraterrestrial captive." A, that's one quote that I was told. B, that we cannot, because what the first thing I wonder is if it's so damn public. If it's so damn public, we're beyond the whistleblower stage and it's all being acknowledged. Photographs, video, just what is the point in holding back or doing the slow drip at this point? Is it to draw out and drag our attention? Because that's what it feels like. So after searching with that kind of mentality, this is what I found, and I'm hitting play for the first time. I'm seeing this Newsweek crap for the first time. Let's give it a moment to see. This is 25 seconds. Oh, okay.
Stated earlier, do we have
If
the
you
bodies
believe
of the
it.
pilots
The
who
bodies,
piloted this
okay.
craft?
Can't hear.
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, Biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to.
Okay, so yes, this
they,
government official, this is the FBI whistleblower guy, right?
Non-human, and that was
non-human, and that was the assessment of people with
direct knowledge on
the program. I talked to that are currently still
on the program.
Show the people if this is something that is not to be hidden anymore. If this is such a well-known fact, what is this slow drip bullshit? We have other priorities. I'm so glad that we're finally talking about extraterrestrials, aliens, and the vastness, the infinite of space. I've always, I've been raised to believe that aliens do exist. I've always felt that way. My mother helped me have that frame of mind, but I don't understand. This dude is funky, by the way. Just saying. He is funky to me. What is his? David Grush, former National Reconnaissance Officer representative. I just, my vibe is that this dude is telling us things that he's been approved to tell. That's my conspiracy. That this dude is playing ball, and we're the audience eating the popcorn. That's why I'm not that interested. I mean, I'm fascinated, but I'm just not that interested because, as we have already discussed, so much other crap is going on, let alone apparently in my own state, there is a special access only area where there's satanic rituals. Okay. I don't know that I even care to read this oversight committee crap. Members of the House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security, the Border, and Foreign Affairs nonetheless have called for further examination. Yes, please. Can you just rip the Band-Aid off? You got the freaking non-human whatever? Show us the non-human freaking whatever. And if you can't take a picture because they're translucent, then say it. Because that's what I've been told. But I need more than hearsay. Ah, man. Okay, breathe, Eli. It's okay. Nobody's out to get you today. So, I love pointing out hypocrisy. I love it with a passion. This is a stand-up individual that grills this FBI little something or another. It's kind of old, but he points out the hypocrisy, and I'll let this clip speak for itself, and then I got some final thoughts.
A recent poll found that 37% of Americans have a positive view of the FBI. And that's from an NBC poll. I wouldn't exactly call that right media propaganda, and I think I know why. Here's what the American people know and believe about the FBI today, sir. If you are a Trump, you'll be prosecuted. If you are a Biden, you'll be protected. And the American people that I represent are sick and tired of this double standard. It seems like every single hearing that we have in this room, we talk about the two-tiered justice system of Biden's DOJ and the FBI. And as
Fair
we
use,
were talking
educational
earlier,
use
here we
Get
are
off my
again.
ass, please. Thank you.
President Trump endured an unprecedented raid at his home in Mar-a-Lago. President Biden's home, however, was respectfully browsed. President Trump is facing up to 400 years in federal prison for allegedly being in possession of classified documents he obtained as the commander-in-chief of these United States of America. And meanwhile, President Biden is facing no charges for the classified documents he had held at his time as a senator and a vice president, not the president of these United States of America. And last I checked, he had no legal authority to declassify.
As a VP, he had zero presidential power. That was explained to me by CanCon. Biden could have, should have been put away a long time ago, let alone all of the collaborations he's had with his good old son, Hunter. This family is the one that should be getting reported time and time again every damn day that I walk in and out of my house to get to work. I want to hear that justice being served to the people that deserve the justice to get on their ass. This family is not impervious. They have not earned that from the American people. I don't want to see the deep state winning every freaking day while we're being told to look at the aliens. Let's just talk about the aliens. I'm tired of I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. I have a headache thinking about the mainstream and all they focus on. It's so obvious to me that it's insulting that they clearly want to keep our attention right where they want it. But I hope we all have an understanding together. We will not be distracted and persuaded to keep our mind and eyes away from the truth.
Those documents. Assuming President Trump was in possession of said classified documents, would those documents be more secure, surrounded by Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago, or in a box, in a garage, behind your Corvette? No, the answer to that question. Question for you, sir. What can you tell us about the status of the FBI's investigation of President Biden's classified documents found next to his Corvette in Delaware and those found at the Penn Biden Center? Do we have an update on that, sir?
Just want to see his response.
What I can tell you is that there is an ongoing special counsel investigation led by Mr. Robert.
He's going to be stonewalled. He's doing the filibuster tactic.
And we have FBI agents affiliated with it, working on it, working very actively and aggressively with him on that case. I obviously disagree with your description of the two standards. In my view, at least under my watch, we have one standard.
Kiss my ass. I'm not giving this dude a single freaking moment in the spotlight. John, what is it? Or Director Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray, screw you. You have betrayed your country and whatever oath you took. So forget you. Here's what I wanted to share, okay? Something that's out of my comfort zone entirely real quick, okay? By the way, I float. Here's proof. There's my hand. It's not gravity. It's floating. I just noticed briefly in the chat. Remember, I'm King Skeptic. I am always, supernatural is just not my thing. It's hard to convince me. I hear things like the story the gentleman shared on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I have to give it some respect. All right, so you may have heard this tale a long time ago. I haven't shared it in a long time. This is the only supernatural event that I ever experienced, and of course, I was a child, but still, it is the experience I had. So I'll share it, and it can be documented here, and you all can make of it. It's kind of lame, but 1996, I was going to fly on an airplane by myself for the first time ever. I was going to fly from Florida to New York. New York. Is that better? So I'm laying down for whatever reason. I remember I was on the floor in my trailer here in Florida before I moved to where I am currently, and I'm I'm just in the middle of the living room. I felt kind of frozen, and so sharing a little. I'm oversharing at this point a little bit. My mother has told me that we have a family friend, and I know her well. I still know her. Not a fan of her son. Got some issues with him. My mom told me that she was a witch. She was into witchcraft. I did not know this. We lived with that family. And my mother shared with me that there was, at that time, some sort of falling out. Take this with a grain of salt if you wish, but this is what I recall. Weird whispering that sounded very similar to what one would call chanting. I couldn't make out the words. It was like how do I mimic chanting? Something to that effect. I can't perfect that. And I just remember feeling that I couldn't move, and I'm by myself. My parents were in their bedroom together this was 3 o'clock in the morning, and this heaviness I felt, in my head, I was building up. I was probably down for about 3 hours, just thinking and obsessing about getting up and getting away from the area and running into my parents' room and jumping in bed with them. And they were packing my stuff before I was able to manifest the energy or the courage. This is the only time I've ever seen something that I can't explain. And it's going to sound strange. Again, I saw this is stronger than a silhouette. A silhouette implies you just see the outline of a human being. I saw what appeared to be a human silhouette wearing what appeared to, don't think neon bright when I describe this color, okay? Think of a very, almost like this. Perfect, because I was going to say pink. So, human silhouette. I get this vibe that it's also female. For whatever reason, I feel like it's female. I can see it, and I have to put this down to explain. So it's the she is standing, and it's wearing pink garb of some kind, layered. I remember seeing the creases and everything, and it does this. It does this movement with its arms and hands extended out toward me, and it's like it's between in the middle of where I am in the living room. Then here's the middle, and then beyond it, behind it, is my parents. That's where I want to be. So here's what this vision or whatever does. Whatever the hell that is. Sorry for the feedback. It did that. Now, I bear in mind, I was like in 6th or 7th grade, child, imagination, but that was as real as it ever has gotten for me. I was sweating. I had a cold sweat. I remember I darted, and I ran into my parents' room, and I was shaking. I was trembling. My mother commented about how I was like, Eli, you're shaking. And I don't know if I explained outright what happened, but later in life, when I told this story to my mother, who is very, very spiritual and very, very intense about aliens, she explained to me that she believed that was some form of spirit or guardian angel giving me some sort of a blessing with this whatever. I don't know what I think about that at the age I'm at now as a man, but that's my supernatural story. Now, one last bonus. This one's brief. We heard the man talking about the satanic ritual crap, right? Pretty alarming stuff. Now, here's what sounded familiar. When I was a kid, back at this age, middle school age, me and my troublemaker friends, we would always, here in Florida, we'd climb up into the overpasses. You could walk up and climb up, and you could find like an upside down pothole, remove it, and climb up into that son of a bitch. We had to usually get somebody up on the shoulders. Somebody pulls you in because there's no ladder. We would walk inside of the overpasses. So under the cars, into the overpasses, it's nearly pitch black. We had flashlights and all that. And we found clearly evidence of people living there, some scrapped clothing. There was one area, this is horrifying. We moved a big cement rock, and I shit you not, there was a cockroach for every little smidgen of an inch of area. It was like the walls and the ceilings all moved, and we ran the hell out of there. Now, the strange thing that we ran into, and I'll never forget, before we got to the roach area, there was this one zone that we definitely there was like makings of food, candles, and somebody had taken. Now, this is not an abandoned house. This is an overpass. This is inside of a highway. Inside of a highway that's, above, and you could open up the manhole and look down at the road. So we got to this one area. There was candle wax. There was tuna cans, magazines. And here's the freaky part. Somebody clearly had a lot of time and found a bunch of magazines somewhere and ripped out the every size they could find of eyeballs out of it had to have been at least 40 magazines. Somebody just ripped out every eyeball and every picture of an eye and plastered the wall. I kid you not, from right to the damn ceiling to left. Ceiling's not that high, mind you. This is an overpass. Okay. So, if you were tall enough, you'd probably have to, squat down. We were short kids at the time. That creeped us out. That was, and I remember just imagine walking in through this mausoleum. I don't know if I used that accurate word here. Just eyeballs are everywhere, and it feels like you're being stared at. And we did get this feeling at some point that somebody else was there, and we ended the journey at that point. Not the last time, but there you go. So I think that I've completed just about everything I wanted to tell you. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Let me see what y'all been saying. Seen some. I would love to see. I've watched all the. I've tried to watch paranormal, ghost chaser material content, documentaries, movie, whatever the case, and I think they're a bunch of overactors and frauds, and I don't mean to sound judgmental, but that is, remember who we're dealing with here, which is me, who is highly skeptical of the supernatural. It doesn't mean I don't have some kind of respect for it, but I don't have a strong belief in it. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just the state of opinion that I speak from. Okay. What was it? Candle wax? I sure hope so, man. Because the ladder would have been God knows what, but it was definitely on the floor. It was candle wax, and then a few feet ahead was all the damn eyes everywhere. Let's see. Oh, Maxwell. What's John Bruner? It's good to have you. Good to see you, brother. I don't know if you're a new name, but just thank you. What's up, Millbilly, old friend? I want to thank everybody for being here. Oh, I like this. Mutated, you're after my heart. We are not alone. Energy. Oh, you sound like my mother. Cannot be created or destroyed. Everything from everywhere is all around you. See, I can respect and agree with that. And hell, if I will go as far as to say, I was arguing with my friend's parents at the age of 6 that there's aliens out in space. I can definitely respect, a statement like this, that energy manifests in many different forms. Sometimes forms that we just can't articulate or even understand. Some things are perhaps beyond our understanding. Is it ever, you think, sometimes things were just not maybe meant to understand? And that's, I think, the natural curiosity of humanity, I hope, is not our undoing. But yet still, I hope there's a few points that remain very, very apparent. Okay, the world is on way more fire than we've been led to believe, because I haven't seen any news media outlets go out of their way to report it unless you do your own due diligence. Rely on nobody but yourself and people you trust. We're in strange times, and with that, I can just say my massive thanks to all of you. This is my therapy. You guys have become my mentors. I really wish we could throw a huge party. If y'all ever come out to Florida, it's on me. Well, we'll do it. It's a we'll figure something out on me kind of a deal. This is my usual long goodbye, and I'm going to cut it short. I want to thank everybody. James Mitchell, what's up, by the way? You asked if I was from Jersey. No, I'm from New York. I got family in Jersey. Hey. And I told her, thank you, man. I appreciate that, and I'm glad to see you here. I'm just glad in general. I've been in a great mood despite all the nonsense. Today was absolute fireworks and adrenaline and anger at work. But I get to come here and do this, and I feel so damn blessed, man. Really. Oh, damn it, Seafowls. You're not allowed to do the I thing, okay? That is the one rule that this is just like you don't talk about Fight Club. You do not. Man, that looks exactly like the freaking eyes that were all over the damn walls, bro. They were all like brown, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It was dark. So they're all going to look brown naturally, right? Damn it, Seafowls. You're making me get freaking PTSD over here. My flashbacks. Crikey. All right. What do we got? There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. Dude, that's beautiful. Here's Tom with the weather. Get out of here. I thought you recorded Neil Gaiman for a second, the creator of Sandman. You guys are the greatest on the planet. Never forget it. Josh and I told him I would love to have basically a meeting with him. I want to float some ideas around, and here's the last. Damn it, dude! I just want to say you can expect us soon. And with that being said, I bid you all a fantastic good night. Watch out for all the evil in the world. If ever there was a moment in time on this speck, this rock that we all coexist on, this would be the time, I say, where we need to turn to one another and find hope within one another. Not within. That sounds creepy. With one another. There you go. Somehow, some way. Sorry, Seafowls. You threw me off, man. Can't be dropping I, but just be man. This is a mutiny. And I will have no part of it. Good night, one and all. Y'all take care. Okay, I'm gone. That was a 4-hour goodbye.